Fox 12 is investigating improvements to foster care in Oregon. Today, a federal judge formally approved a settlement in a class action lawsuit against Oregon's Department of Human Services, calling for an overhaul of the state's foster care system. Investigative reporter Adrian Thomas is in Eugene with the story.
A federal judge in Eugene has given final approval to a settlement that's been years in the making, which mandates federally overseen improvements to Oregon's foster care system. We spoke to some foster youth who gave testimony in today's hearing to hear their thoughts on the settlement that's finally in place. In a class action lawsuit that has played out in federal court since 2019, Oregon foster youth allege the Oregon Department of Human Services, or ODHS, hasn't done its job well enough in keeping foster children safe and accommodating their physical and mental health needs. Back in May, a preliminary settlement was reached between the state and the legal team representing Oregon's foster youth, which would appoint a neutral expert through the court from outside Oregon who is experienced in child welfare. That neutral party would then identify problems and order improvements in Oregon's foster care system. At a Thursday federal court hearing in Eugene, a judge gave final approval to the settlement after a group of former foster youth gave testimony on whether they think the settlement is fair. Two of those former foster youth, Whitney and Rain, spoke to us after the hearing finished, wary about potential improvements.
It's a start. It's just one step in the right direction, a start. It needs so much more work than just what's been done today.
A major part of the settlement aims to make improvements to reduce alleged abuse and neglect of children while in foster care. In a May Fox 12 Investigates report, we found through public records that over a several-year period, abuse and neglect allegations by foster children against their foster parents were ruled unfounded by state investigators nearly all the time. Former foster youth at Thursday's hearing told us promised changes are positive, but it won't change what they and other foster youth have endured.
And I think this settlement has been a complete waste of the court's time, our time as advocates. We could have settled this a long time ago. I am cautiously optimistic.
ODHS's child welfare director released a statement on the settlement saying that she appreciates the hard work by both parties to reach an agreement and that the settlement will give ODHS an opportunity to continue to improve its child welfare system. After Thursday's hearing, former foster youth told us they hope they can have a seat at the table as advocates as ODHS makes changes ordered by the court-appointed neutral expert.
There needs to be more involvement with youth who are currently in care, not just youth who have aged out. There needs to be access with community partners who are qualified to work with these youth to gather feedback.
And the next step is for the court-appointed neutral expert to be formally hired by the state of Oregon to begin working to make improvements. In Eugene, Adrian Thomas, Fox 12 Oregon.